I'm dead. I committed suicide sometime in the 90s because of Skylab. Well, not entirely, but it's as sensible an explanation as anything. Most of you don't remember what Skylab was. I seem to have had a disproportionate reaction to it. Most people seem to have just sloughed it off. Skylab was this big American space station. It was thousands of tons of heavy metal, and it was put up into orbit over Earth sometime in the 70s. Eventually, the people on board abandoned it, and it was just floating up there. And you'd think the people who put it up there would have had a plan on how to get it back down to Earth again, but they didn't. Or the plan failed, or something. And in 1979, they announced that Skylab would be falling from the sky in a little bit. This massive thing, the size of a city block, might come crashing down on your head as you were standing in line at Bloomingdale's, or were sitting by your suburban pool, or were crossing George Washington Bridge, etc., etc. Of course, statistically, the likelihood of Skylab hitting you on the head, or rather, hitting a whole bunch of you on the head, statistically, the odds were small. But I can't live my life by statistics. And I guess the experts didn't think it through enough. Sure, let's put a massive tonnage up in the sky. I'm sure it won't fall down. Sure, let's build nuclear power plants. I'm sure we'll figure out what to do with the radioactive waste eventually. Well, you can start to see that I have the kind of personality that I might kill myself. I mean, throw in unhappy relationships and a dark, depressive tinge to my psychology, and something like Skylab just sends me over the edge. I can't live in a world where there's Skylab! I sort of screamed as I was waiting in this airport, waiting in some endless line to go somewhere or another. So I killed myself sometime in the 90s. Obviously, it was a delayed reaction to So I killed myself. Anger turned inward, they say. But at least I got to miss 9/11. If I couldn't stand Skylab, I certainly couldn't stand the sight of people jumping out of buildings, and letters with anthrax postmarked from Trenton, and in some quarters, people danced in the streets in celebration. Oh, lots of people killed. Yippee! Gotta hate human beings. I'm glad I killed myself. You know, in the afterlife, I'm considered to have a bad attitude. And apparently, I'm slated to be reincarnated and come do this horrible thing all over again. Why can't I just be left alone to fester and brood in my bodiless state? Who says that spirits have to be light and airy and clear? So what if my aura looks like some brown tweed suit? So what? You leave me alone, and I'll leave you alone. Anyway, they tried to force me back to Earth sometime in 2002 or so. And before I knew it, my spirit was starting to reincarnate. But I put on this sort of otherworldly emergency brake system I have, and the whole process came to a grinding halt. I simply refused to reincarnate. I don't like being alive. I don't trust it. So, I'm refusing to reincarnate. At least as much as I can. I mean, I figure that if I keep on thwarting their attempts to reincarnate me, then after a while the world just might not be there, and my going back may become a moot point. I'm sorry. Am I depressing everyone? I'm depressing myself. Well, pay no attention. I'm just a gloomy dead person. There's no accounting for my moods. Is there anything positive to leave you with? Well, good luck. I mean it sincerely. I guess life has always been scary. Hitler was scary. I was a child then, and we all expected to die from Russia and America aiming missiles at each other. But that didn't happen. So, good luck. Maybe things will turn out all right. I hope they will. I just don't want to come back. But if I hear it has all worked out a bit better than we expected,